Leonardo DiCaprio refusing to date women over 25. And this comes from, shout out to his YouTube channel here, The 33 Secrets. I like this guy a lot. Shout out to him. We'll bring him on the podcast.
We need him on the show, actually.
Yeah, we'll bring him on one day.
We need him on. He's cool.
We'll play this. So he's going to react to this video, but we're going to skip his reactions because I just want this TikTok to play here on the side. No, play from the beginning, and then like when he talks, just like fast forward a little bit. No offense, Matt Cross. We love you, but
Matt's cool.
we don't want your poison girl stick.
Leonardo DiCaprio has a new 19-year-old girlfriend. Leonardo DiCaprio is 48 years old. That is a 29-year age gap.
Oh, yeah.
Like, can you imagine this conversation between these two? Like, I have to know what a 19-year-old is talking about to a 48-year-old. Like, Leonardo, at this point, it's getting creepy. It's getting weird.
All right, pause.
You know what?
Okay, so I want to get the ladies' thoughts on this. What are your thoughts on it, general? And we can go ahead and respond to that. We'll start. Who started last time? Started last time, right? So we'll start here.
No, I started.
Oh, so my bad. Then we'll start here. What are your thoughts on this? So McGuire, obviously, damn near 50 with a 19-year-old, and then Leonardo, which we know he's been dating women only on 25. And he got a new 19-year-old girlfriend. So what's your thoughts on this in general? Agree, disagree, disgusting, as this woman said on TikTok. What's your thoughts?
I think they're rich and famous, so they can obviously get women much younger, and that's what they want. It's fine.
Let's say he was not famous.
Again, I think it's if the woman is okay with it, then who are we to judge how old or young they want to date?
Okay.
No, but what's your thoughts on it, though? Like, your personal opinion. I want you to judge. What are your personal thoughts on it?
Would you do it?
I personally wouldn't, because I'm attracted to people more or less my age, maybe like 5 years older, but that's just me personally.
How old are you again?
27.
Damn. So you want a guy that's what the oldest that you would deal with?
Not more than like 37.
So you're telling me if you met a guy that was charming, charismatic, good-looking, taller than you significantly, maybe had an IFBB Pro card back in the day, but he was 45, you wouldn't give him a chance?
I mean, I guess, yeah, I would give him a chance.
Okay. What about you? What are your thoughts on this overall? You agree, disagree, disgusting, not disgusting? What are your thoughts?
I do think that a lot of the time when you see a much younger woman with an older man, it is because of their money. Not 100% of the time, obviously. Everything is situation dependent. But, I mean, if they're both happy, then do what you want,
ladies, I want you guys to give me your actual real opinions on this. I understand that you're females and it's difficult to formulate an opinion where you might go ahead and ruffle some feathers, but I want you to go ahead and put your big girl pants on and tell us what you actually think on it. Do you agree with it? Do you disagree? And I want you to cite specifically why you agree or disagree. Take a stance.
Imagine it's you.
Don't give me some bullshit answer that you've been giving like, well, you can do what you want in your life. No, that's not what it is. What is your actual take on this? Go ahead.
If it were me, no, I would not. Just, if it were me, then no. But I don't disagree
you
with
wouldn't date a man that's significantly older than you?
If I was 19, I would not date a 45-year-old, no.
Okay. Well, you're 30 now. Would you date a man that was 50?
Maybe. You know, it depends, but...
Would that not be the same thing technically?
I think it's different as you get older. The age gap gets, like, it's less... What's the word? Like, it's less...
Pronounced?
Yes, thank you. It's, yeah.
Okay. So you think it's not the age gap that's the problem. You think it's the age at which the woman is.
Yeah, I guess, because 19 is very young, but...
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. What about you?
Sorry, she's 19 and he's 40...
49?
49. Okay.
Leo, I think, Leo's 40,
49.
Same thing with Toby, pretty much. Same thing.
Yeah.
Toby McGuire.
Same thing.
45 to 50.
I honestly don't know.
Okay, if it was you, what would you do?
I would.
Let's start there.
I think.
You would date a guy? Okay.
I would date a guy. Yeah.
Go ahead, pound it.
Okay. Would you?
I would.
So, okay, I guess by you saying you would, you agree with it then, I guess.
Yeah, I think there's no harm in that. Like, where I'm from, there's girls that are getting married when you're 15 and 16.
That's a fact.
Like, you know, that's how it was back then. So, like, for us to be, like, judging it, I'm like, there's nothing to judge. Like, look at your grandparents back then. Like, they got married when they were younger at 15, 16.
Well, 18 plus, at least. Okay, go ahead.
Well, Middle East is different, bro. Yeah. All right, what about you? What's your thoughts on this?
I mean, I think 19 is really young, but I honestly think that she's there for the fame and the money, and he's there because
she has a runway model, so she makes her own.
Got him.
Runways models don't make as much as Leo has. And she doesn't have to spend. She doesn't have to spend her own money. So
of course, but she's doing well financially.
Yeah, she's not struggling.
Well, she's doing even better now because she's not spending her money. She's spending his, and he is getting a good fuck, I guess, and he's enjoying the time
I'm
with
sure
her.
he's gotten a lot
okay,
of those.
now, do you agree with it or do you disagree with it?
Agree with them dating?
Yeah, like, do you think it's disgusting? Do you think it's appropriate?
I mean, no.
What's your thoughts on it?
I think it's this day and age, everything goes. I can care less. I don't think it's disgusting.
Would you do it?
Me, if I was 19 and a 49-year-old would come.
Yeah, like him.
Like Leo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, she said like Leo.
Right.
Yeah.
Got to be Leo.
Okay. What about you?
I mean, you're saying not to just be nonchalant about it, but I can't even it's just somebody else's life. As long as it's two consenting adults, then I don't give a shit what anybody else is doing.
If it was you, would you?
I've dated when I was 26 years old. I dated a 42-year-old guy. I've also dated younger guys. I've dated a younger girl before. Like I've when I was 30, I dated a girl that was 18. Like I have dated all different ages. I don't.
So for you,
as long as somebody's a consenting adult, it just it doesn't matter to me.
Okay. What about you?
Yeah, I really don't care.
She means
I
it
don't
too.
care about anything.
Yeah, it's not about caring, ladies. So this is the part where you actually give an opinion or a take.
Okay, I do care so much about this topic, and I would be with Leo.
Okay.
Okay, so you agree?
Yes, I would. Yes.
Okay.
I think.
So it's really interesting because I mean, special guest, you take it first because I don't want to go on my little rant here.
Sure.
Go ahead, brother. What's your take on this? We obviously have kind of a discrepancy with what they think their son would want versus what went down and then what they would actually agree to.
Well, the challenge is you ask them to put themselves in the shoes of someone else, like empathize. That's not their strong suit nowadays. They're very narcissistic. Like our mothers, our grandmothers, excellent listeners. We're very concerned about loving on us and caring for us. These women, very much so me monsters. So you ask them to think about others, especially think about a man. Can't do it. That's number one. Number two, the comical thing is that all of their foolish responses are like, well, what would a 19-year-old talk about with a 40-year-old? Well, that's funny because all of you, when asked a question, you all seem like at a loss for words, like as though you can't express yourself very well at your advanced ages. And here's the other crazy thing. Like, for example, I'm in the software business. Whether I date a woman who's 19 or 80, there's really not much we're going to discuss in terms of what did I do today at work.
You know what? I got one last follow-up question so we can get their gauge. When do you think a woman's at her peak? Give me an age range.
Probably like 20 to 25.
Okay.
Maybe, I mean, maybe younger, but
what do you really think? What do you really think?
17 to 23.
Oh, shit. What's wrong with you, bro?
She keeping it
weirdo.
here.
What do you think a woman is at her peak? In your opinion?
Hormonally speaking and everything.
When do you think she's just the most attractive?
27.
27.
27 is scientifically what they've said is the peak age.
They.
Okay.
Who's they? You.
That's
what about
before
you?
you start to lose HGH.
Okay.
I'm sorry?
25 to 30.
25 to 30 is peak. Okay.
22. No, I was gonna say 40. 22.
That's a big range.
26.
Okay.
22 to 26.
That's better.
Yeah.
All right. What about you? What do you think is peak range?
I guess like
Niggas.
between 8.
Very dark.
Between
Very
like
dark.
18 and 30 maybe.
Okay.
Can you give us a smaller range, please?
Okay, maybe
A bit more.
between like 20 and 28.
She's very inclusive.
That is a lot.
All right. Do you want to just say 24 to 28, maybe?
Sure.
Move on the latter edge of it because
Okay.
I see that you're trying to be inclusive here, and it's like we'll just go on the higher end. What about you?
Like 23 to 27.
Crazy.
Interesting. Okay, now we got the
So
base of
what's
knowledge.
the
My bad.
truth?
Listen,
Go ahead.
when you said that Leo said he only does under 25, I was like, the man's figured out life. And I know he picked that age range, not through guessing, but because he's rich, he's famous, he's good looking, he's influential, he's well respected. He is a dream man for many women. He didn't pick the age range of under 25 by accident. He's ran through a lot of slurs and he figured out, you know what? By the time you get 25 or older and you're still single and you're attractive, that means nobody wanted you. You're like that dented canned good. You're that dented canned good in the grocery store that they put on the discount rack that still doesn't get purchased. And he's right about that. You see, as I stated earlier, most women want a long-term relationship. Facts. So if the driving force of the woman is to lock down a man in a long-term relationship, if she's both good looking and over the age of 25, it would indicate that though she was pursuing this, no man would give it to her. No man would say, you know what, you're the one, I want to stay with you. You're worth me spending the rest of my life with you. And here's the thing, if she's a good looking woman and she's single, you should be even more scared. And I know from experience that the more attractive they are when you find them at age 25 plus, the more mental issues they have. And I'm speaking not casually when you're like, oh, you're crazy. I'm speaking clinically. They have clinical issues and even clinical immaturity in some cases. Now, when he says 24 or younger, this is not only prime in terms of your enjoyment with the woman, it's also prime in terms of her biology. But consider this as a man, especially if you're a wealthy and successful man. You know what the worst answer I hate? I just absolutely hate hearing to this question. You know, I'm like, hey, have you ever been to Dubai?
Mm-mm.
Have you been to Dubai?
No.
Have you been to Dubai? You?
Mm-mm.
You been to Dubai? You been to Dubai? That's exciting to me. I've been 9 times, 13 times. We go, we fly out there, I show you some stuff, and you're like, you're amazed at everything. I've been there 9, 13 times. It's not exciting to me anymore. What's more exciting is me as a man leading you to a new experience and watching your face light up when you see something magical that you've never seen before and probably wouldn't have a chance to see. That's exciting to me. So I get that new experience through you. You return a form of youth and newness to me. Now, women don't understand that men like this kind of thing. Every man likes to be a teacher and leader. The worst thing is when I say, oh, have you been to Dubai? And she's like, yeah, I've been to Dubai like 3 times. She belongs to the streets. As soon as she says that, I'm like, oh, this is a human porta potty. Why do I think that?
Oh, shit.
Because Dubai is extraordinarily expensive.
Ew.
And I'm pretty well off. And when I get there, after like last time I was there for 2 weeks, I started looking, I was like, God, like I might need to get up out of here. Like everything is very expensive for a person who's well off. So I look at you and you're a 24-year-old girl and you told me you've been to Dubai a couple times.
With who?
Who's your sponsor?
With who?
And what did you do to get this privilege?
Do.
So then when women say like, oh yeah, what are we going to talk about? Men don't need you for deep conversations. I mean, after all, we asked you guys to name 3 countries and people scratching their goddamn head. But here's the amazing thing. We don't actually need you to know 3 countries. We will accept you if you know 2 countries. Because what we want from you is for you to be a source of calmness, to make sure that we're cared for. Like, for example, I had some business challenges when I got here back to the States. I've been traveling in Europe for a couple months. And it was so challenging. I called up my assistant. I said, hey, I'm going to fly you out today. I just need you to come here because I'm having a lot of challenges. And I just want to double down on work. So what did I need her to do? Make sure all of my meals are there. You know, make sure that she's encouraging, help me think through things, tell me everything's going to go as I want it to go. That's what we look for from a woman. We don't want to have intellectual conversations with you guys. Like, for example, have you ever been to Georgia?
What, Georgia? Like,
Have you ever been to
The country
Georgia?
or the state?
Have you been to Georgia? You have been to Georgia? How was Tbilisi?
I passed through Georgia.
Yeah,
I stayed
exactly.
there.
You're thinking Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah,
you're thinking the
talking
state.
about the real
I'm talking
Georgia
about the
from-
country. Exactly. That's the whole point. And I don't need her to know that Georgia's a country, because that never really comes into play in our real interaction. When a man's dealing with a woman, we're dealing with romance. We're dealing with intercourse. We're dealing with childbearing. We're dealing with you being caring, considerate, and a good listener. So it's a lie when women are like, oh, well, what are we going to talk about? Nothing. Hey, let's fly to Monaco. Oh, aren't those pretty buildings? Yeah, those are pretty buildings. Let's go to a nice restaurant. She's like, oh, this restaurant is so fancy. Great. Good food. Fantastic. Let's make love. Let's go to sleep. Wake up. I go to work. You go shopping. Do what you do. Tell your friends. Take pictures. Send them to your mom. Then you come back to me. Rub my back. Make love to me. Do it all over again. Fly to a new country. We're not having deep intellectual conversation. Like, know what your role actually is and the real value you offer to a man. You're deluded if you think a successful man is looking at you as though you're equally yoked intellectually. You're not. Is Elon Musk's wife going in there like, so what kind of new batteries are we going to use in the next Tesla? Right? Like, hell nah. She don't know a damn thing about that. Is Bill Gates' wife going in there like, gee, you know, I looked over your code for your last software deployment and I think that it has a couple bugs we should discuss. Like, hell nah. She don't know nothing about that. So like, why are we pretending as though that people are on par. We're not saying you're not smart, but generally speaking, the things that I truly enjoy as a masculine man are not things you can relate to. Who's your favorite boxer? Who's your favorite boxer?
Floyd Mayweather.
Who's your favorite boxer? Who's your favorite boxer? Okay, you guys get the goddamn point now. So we don't even relate on that. But check this out. Because I'm a masculine man and I know that we're very different, if you want to take out 10 minutes to tell me how you're going to create like a natural makeup brand that uses like organic stuff and it doesn't have any GMO, I'll listen to that shit for like 10 cool minutes. I'll listen to it and act like I'm interested in it, because that's a part of the relationship, is for me to go into your world. So whether you're a 19-year-old girl telling me about your makeup company, or you're a 30-year-old woman telling me about whatever ambition you have, I'm going to go into your world. And because I'm a competent man, a great communicator, and very experienced, if you're 19 or 30 or 50, I can go into your world. So your age is largely irrelevant. It's only relevant when we're considering the things that are critical to me, which is giving you new experiences, keeping you excited, not having a woman that has a lot of baggage, and being able to make kids.
I got a question for the ladies. We'll start here and then work our way. Ladies, at what age is a man at his peak,
Like
in your opinion?
28 to, is it just a range or just a
You
number?
can give me a range if
Okay,
that's easier for you.
28 to like 35.
Okay. What about you?
Honestly, I think I would say the same as I chose for
28
women.
to
Like,
35? Okay.
no, the same as I chose for women. Like I said, 24 to 28, right? Yeah.
Okay. You think a man's peak is 24 to 28 too?
We're equal.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
We're
All right.
equal.
Interesting. All right. What about you?
29 to maybe like 40,
That's a big range. Okay.
or no, 30.
30 to 40? That's still a big range, but that's fine. What about you? What do you think a man's peak is?
35 to 40.
Okay. What about you?
I mean, are we talking financially success, or are we
The
talking
things that
physically?
make a man attractive. The things that make a man attractive. What do you think age he has the most of that at?
That's a huge range, because that could happen for any guy at any time. But I'd say maybe average, probably like 40,
40.
around
Okay.
there.
What about you?
Like 27 to 37. I don't know if that's too long, but
That is a big range.
okay,
but,
27 to 32.
Okay, so she brought it down. You know, I find it interesting, right? So I asked you guys, the original question was, if you had a rich and famous son at 45 years old, what age would you want his woman to be to maximize his happiness? And I got some answers: 30 to 35, 45, 29 to 30, 35 to 50, 32 to 35, 25 to 30. And I mean, I did expect this. And then I asked you guys, what age is a man at his peak? And then the ages are significantly older. So wouldn't it be fair to say that, like, a man at his peak is going to want a woman at her peak? Because I want to ask you guys, what's a woman's peak age? You guys all gave significantly younger ages. You guys catch on to that? So, like, I asked you, what would your son want, right, that's famous and has money, for his happiness? You guys all gave me these old-ass answers. And then a lot of you, 3 of you actually gave the answer, he'll be able to relate to her, right? And he just went on in a whole explanation as to, like, we don't need to relate to you to be attracted to you.
Wait.
Right?
I'm sorry, because you're looking at me, and I feel like I
No,
had a good answer.
She's like, I'm not
you.
You are triggered my trap card.
You gave the youngest. You said 25 to 30. You were the only one that gave in the 20s, pretty much. You and her.
I did.
She just made it, but she said, yeah. So, I find it interesting. So I asked, what would be the happiest? You guys gave me, in your opinion, all these old ages. Then I went and asked, what's a woman's peak age? You all gave me significantly younger ages. Then I asked, what's a man's peak age? And it's significantly older, but you expect the man that's significantly older at his peak to get a woman that isn't in her peak.
That doesn't mean that you have to wait till you're at your peak to get a woman necessarily.
As a man?
I'm just saying, I feel like
do.
because of the way the world works, most men they don't get money as fast as women. I will say that you're right
That's
there.
a fact.
Yeah.
And I feel like it does take them a little longer to get fully financially stable, but that doesn't mean that at
She
that
said
point
stable. You said financially stable.
Well,
say
okay.
what you're really looking
Okay.
for.
they aren't balling until they're a
There
little
you
bit
go.
older now.
There you
Yeah.
go.
And that they don't have to wait to that point to start looking for a woman. Like we're saying, like we're kind of putting this.
They
in,
could look all they want, but the reality is that as a woman at her peak going to accept him when he's not at his.
I mean, as long as they're working towards it and close to it, yeah.
So
They
you're
don't have
making
to
the
be at their
argument.
peak. You said peak, not like even on the rise.
Yeah, but
It's-
he's got to be on a really big incline for her to be at her peak and take a chance on him.
Okay, if we're just talking the incline and not peak, then I'm going to lower my age a little bit. I'd say more like mid-30s even.
I mean, goddamn.
Lower what age? The woman's peak, the man's peak. What are you talking about?
I didn't say peak. You're saying for a woman to find a man attractive, it doesn't have to be at his peak. It could be before his peak.
Because of ambition.
As long as
is what you're saying?
absolutely, ambition is ambition with some success behind it is.
Ambition ain't gonna fly you into
But okay, we're getting away from the point here. I don't know if you ladies catch what I'm doing here. Like, there's a vast discrepancy between what you guys think a man wants for him to maximize his happiness versus what he actually wants and what he's attracted to. Because like when I ask you guys the questions segmented, your answers don't align. Does that make sense? Okay, let's go one more time. I asked you, what would make a man to maximize his happiness? What age would you want his wife to be? And I'm asking you, like, and this is your son, you care about him, you want to maximize his happiness. What age should his girlfriend be? You guys all gave me pretty much, I would say the average is about 35 to 40 years old, majority. Only 2 girls, I think, gave me age in the 20s, but it was in the late 20s, right?
No.
Yes, so 25 to 30, right? So was like the youngest range. But majority, 30s and 40s. And then when I asked specifically why, it was, he can relate to her more. She has a brain. She's got things going, blah, 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 right? Then I asked, okay, well, when's a woman at her peak? You guys all gave significantly younger ages. Then when I asked you, when's a man at his peak? You gave older ages. So why would a man who's at his peak get with a girl that's not at her peak anymore in her 30s, like you guys said before?
I get the same.
See how it does? No, you didn't. You definitely didn't.
It's the same.
You definitely didn't. So do you guys see where I'm going here?
I see. Okay, I see where you're going to some extent. Wait.
Okay.
Are you gonna say
what you're saying, but like, what about genuine friendships, relationships?
This is what I mean. Like, yo, this experiment proves precisely what I've been saying for the better part of almost 4 fucking years. Women don't know what men want. They don't give a fuck what men want, and they only know what they want. That's what it comes down to. And you said earlier, women don't have empathy. I agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
They really don't. Because I'll tell you guys this, we got to know what you guys want.
Got to.
We got to know how to be attractive. We got to know how to talk well. We got to be a slick talker, have our apartment nice and everything. Going back to what I was saying before with you, right? Like, girls think, I just wanted to fuck too. No, you didn't.
No.
He attracted you through certain things that he did, verbal and nonverbal, the way he looks, etc. But women, on the other hand, you guys just exist. You don't know what it takes to actually keep a man a lot of times, if I'm going to be honest. A lot of girls can attract the guy, but can you keep him?
Yeah. I would also argue as well that they don't care. Because
they don't give a fuck.
For them, it's like, I'm going to live my life how I want to live it, and you're just joining my life how I see it. However, they don't see what comes behind the paywall, for example, what a guy went through, sacrifice to get to that point, and as a result, it's like, he just showed up to me.
And then this is why guys like Leonardo, they got the game figured out. They've caught on to this, and they say, you know what? Women don't really give a fuck about what I want.
Yeah.
So you know what? I'm going to start dating selfishly like women do. I'm going to date women at their peak, and then I'm going to get rid of them when they start to decline. Whether you want to accept it, ladies, or not. 18 to 24 is actually your main peak.
Yes.
After 25, you start to drop off precipitously when it comes to sexual market value. Your eggs start to go off. You start to get wrinkles in certain places that you didn't have before. Not as attractive as you were 10 years prior.
As well.
It is what it is. And then you have had sex with more guys, had more relationships with guys. These things kind of drag into your personality and your worldview, kind of fucks it up. You lose your novelty when it comes to men. You might have traveled to certain places. Like you said before, you might have been in Dubai, got a bad experience here. Oh my God, I don't hate Arab men now, blah, blah, blah. Everything starts to become clouded. So he realizes this. He's like, they want me at my peak. So you know what? I'm going to play the same game. I'm going to get them at their peak and get rid of them when they're dropping off. And that's why so many women get angry because guys that figure this out do the same shit that you guys do. You guys want to date guys at their peak. You want to date a guy that has money and status and all this clout, etc. The hero's journey. Remember that hero's journey I told you about? That you got mad about? That you said women don't have to deal with? Or women actually experience? You guys don't experience a hero's journey. The man has to become the hero for the woman so she can look up to him. This is my hero. That's what you guys want. You don't want to be the hero and have the guy look up to you. It don't work. It doesn't work. This is what I say all the time. Women don't build. They just move in.
And ladies, we're not saying...
I agree, though. I agree to what you just said.
We're not saying that you can't have happiness.
Yeah.
We're just saying knowing how men operate and what they actually want will win you the man that you actually truly desire. And if you don't understand this, then you're stuck in her situation of being Miss Africa.
Hey.